Are you setting up your classroom and wondering how to create a space that feels both inviting and functional? In today's episode, we're going to cover exactly how to transform your classroom into an engaging, organized learning environment that will make your students feel welcome and ready to learn every single day. Now, why is this important? Well, because the right setup can help you manage student behavior, boost student engagement, and create a positive classroom culture from day one. So I need you to stick around because you're going to get actionable steps and tips to make your space not only look great, but work for you and your students all year long. And why it matters. Well, it's simply put, a well thought out, planned out floor plan is going to impact your classroom flows and accessibility. You know, how students go about getting their materials. Where's your classroom library at? How about the specific learning centers? How are your students going to navigate from point A to point B? You know, not blocking entranceways and things like that. Some options you have, okay? Traditional rows or pods. Now, let me say a word about this. I know during the first days of school, you're more than likely, and I would recommend this, by the way, is either having your classroom set up in traditional rows or stadium seating, where your back is not toward any student and no student's back is toward you. That way you could go ahead and discuss your classroom procedures and your rules and things like that, okay? Then after about, you get into the school year, within maybe a couple of weeks, you can move into, if you feel your class is ready to do this, into heterogeneously grouped desks, not to exceed 5, preferably 4 desks together, okay, to accommodate cooperative learning strategies and things like that. The other thing is consider, if it's appropriate for the time, flexible seating. Consider some flexible seating arrangements for comfort and movement, okay? Things like bean bags, stools, or a reading corner can make a very, very big difference. Moving on to tip 2 is maximize natural and soft lighting. Now, why does this matter? Well, good lighting can boost students' mood and eye strain. Fluorescent lights alone can feel harsh. Let's try to create a softer, more welcoming atmosphere. And I wanted to say a word about fluorescent lighting. We've known through research that that's not the best type of lighting for, to prevent eye strain in students. And yet schools go on being built with what? Fluorescent lights. And I don't understand that, but that's just the way it is. Now, some suggestions for this, my friend, might be to, use natural light. That's by far the best light to use anyway. If you have windows, let the light in as much as possible. Pull the shades, etc. Place desks near windows for a brighter learning spot. Now, soft lighting, you could add stand-up lights, desk lights to offer, the soft lighting and stuff, okay, to kind of create that cozy feel. All right, let's move on to tip 3, which is use color strategically. Now, why is it important? Well, colors, as research has pointed out, can affect mood and energy levels. Blues and greens, for example, are calming, while yellow is an energizing color. Some tips for this. Accent walls or bulletin boards, consider a calm accent color for your bulletin boards to kind of add life to them without going overboard, Color zones, very important here. Using color to identify different areas of your room. A color for a reading nook or a group work section, okay, or a quiet corner would work well. Tip number 4, organize resources for easy access. And why does it matter? Well, I have to tell you that an organized classroom, okay, I speak from experience on this, goes a long way. It's going to cut down on confusion. It's going to cut down on classroom disruptions. It's going to cut down on student misbehaviors, all that thing. And also it encourages student independence as well if students know where to go to find certain things in your room. When students know where everything is, they can get up, get it without interrupting you. Now, here's some crucial ideas. You might want to take note to this. Label everything. Label containers, bins, and drawers. It helps students locate supplies. It keeps things organized. and it encourages responsibility for your students to put things back where they got them from. A supply station. Create a supply station with essentials like pencils, paper, glue sticks, anything else that you might need to reduce disruptions when students run out of something during mid-activity. So I think that would be a very, very important thing here, is to label or color code everything in that classroom, okay? Keeping it organized. Are you a teacher who finds yourself drowning in the challenges of classroom management? Do student behaviors leave you feeling overwhelmed and drained at the end of each day? Picture this, a classroom where your students are not just present, but fully engaged, focused, and eager to learn. Say goodbye to classroom management stress and hello to success. The Teacher RockStar Academy course is meticulously designed to equip you with the tools and strategies needed to skyrocket your effectiveness as a teacher. Curious to know if the Teacher RockStar Academy course is the missing piece in your teaching journey? If you're ready to reclaim control of your classroom and witness the incredible impact on your students, then use the link in the podcast description to learn more about this program. Moving on to tip number 5, display student work and create ownership. Okay, now why does this matter? Well, displaying student work, I must say, builds pride and gives students a sense of ownership. I think that goes without saying here. It transforms the room into a space that feels like theirs and not yours. Now, here are some ideas. Create a rotating work display wall where you switch out student work regularly. This keeps things fresh and motivates students. I wouldn't post student work that you have grades put on them. I'd stay away from that. You know, I don't think that's necessary. We don't need to go shaming people, that kind of thing. Personalized space. Let students add small items or labels to their desk areas if you think it's appropriate at that time. Personal touches make a classroom feel more like home for the students, And last but certainly not least, step 6, and that's create a welcoming entry area. And why does it matter? Well, you've heard the expression that first impressions matter. An inviting entry sets a positive tone from the minute the students walk into your room or a guest. So here's couple of suggestions here. Have a fun welcome sign and a bulletin board for announcements or inspiring quotes. Attendance or check-in spot. Make attendance part of the entry routine. Students can check in by moving a name tag or signing in. What I used to do, I had popsicle sticks with the student's name on them. I had them in the pencil wells. Well, when the students would walk in, part of their procedure was to take their stick and put it in an appropriate cup. For example, lunch choice, okay, or present, whatever the case may be, however you would label your cups, okay? It worked real well. Well, there you have it, a few essential tips to create an inviting classroom setup that supports learning and keeps your students engaged. Now, remember that the goal is to make the space functional, okay, flexible and welcoming to everybody. I want to thank you for watching. If you like these tips, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video for more classroom inspiration. Take care.